You guys, we want to answer some questions about the death of Navalny.
Yeah, sure, man.
So what do you think is going to happen after this?
There is a lot of things happening, and there's a lot of people in a prison right now.
Yes.
The main problem and the main thing is that Alexei is the only one from the manys, and I'm really worried about the people in the jail right now. And my soul right now, and my heart right now, with the people who are still in jail. And I'm thinking that this tedious regime is not going to stop.
Yeah.
And since a lot of our hope was being discarded with this murder, a lot of things could happen within a few months.
What do you think is the likeliest outcome that will happen? And what would you like to happen? Those are two different questions.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the first one is like, imagine that there is a Brighton thing that like the best thing, the best case scenario, right?
Best case scenario.
And the best case scenario is that there is a brighter future for the Russia, right? But who are you gonna speak with?
Absolutely.
Alexei already dead.
Absolutely. Who's there to negotiate with?
See what I'm saying? There is no people who are you willing to speak with, right?
Yep.
A lot of like people who wants to have like a middle ground, who wants to this situation sorted out, are already dead. And Alexei is one of the best people who you want to speak with.
Right.
So right now the situation is quite doomed.
There's a saying that goes like this: when diplomacy ends, war begins. You've said that there's no one to negotiate with anymore. Do you think
It's
this
very
is the
true.
beginning of violence in Russia? Or,
I think this is the beginning of desperation in Russia.
That's correct.
A lot of people who are ready to be standoff, who really wants to stand up of Alexei and what he said.
To stand with what you say.
Yes, of
stand
course.
for it.
And right now they're speechless. They're like they don't have any weapon to fight with,
Yes.
right? To fight with. So right now the situation is hard in Russia. And the thing is that the Russia is still the part of the Europe. And being a part of Europe is quite a poisoned part of Europe right now. So I am stand with Alexei and his family, and I really want the situation will change.
Yeah.
But I don't believe it. And that's the thing. That's what it means to everyone in Russia. Everyone in Russia is lost their hope
Yes.
for the changes.
Everyone.
Like a day ago, everyone thought that either it will be Putin or Navalny.
Yeah.
But right now,
It's either Putin
it's
or
Putin or
Putin,
see what
yeah.
I'm saying? Or
Yeah, yeah.
everyone from his like or of close circles.
I wanted to ask you something about that, about what you mentioned. You said everyone has lost their hope with Navalny. I agree partially. I agree that there are many people who lost their hope, the people who supported Navalny, who supported a more liberalized Russia. But there are also those who supported Prigozhin in his pseudo coup. What do you think they will think about the death of Navalny? Do you think they'll be happy, or do you think they will be also upset?
I think they will be fine. I mean, they supporting the war, and they supporting the this part of Putin's mind, where it's like he thought that he's a part of like a big empire,
Yeah.
right? So there is an empire, right? So Putin wants to rebuild the empire, right?
Yeah.
And Prigozhin was a part of it, right? When Prigozhin thought that there is a lot of like middle ground interest, right? And there is no like real intention to rebuild an empire. Prigozhin start to act like a regular gang leader, right, or something
Very
like
true.
that. See, so um, there's no point of saying that the Prigozhin was a power itself. It's just a middleman who regain the power,
Yeah,
right?
but he rebelled. That's what I'm saying. Prigozhin went against Putin's ambitions. That's why Putin had him killed.
Yeah, it wasn't a rebellion. It
You don't
was,
think so?
yeah, I don't think so. Anyone from Russia is like, oh, sorry, yeah, stick it there. My sorry, it's my son. It's just like this guy just wants his own power to be like reimbursed, and that's it. At the end of the day, this guy is just about. He's the same breed as Putin.
Yes.
It's the very same breed. It's the
crook.
same person. Of course. So, Putin, he's a very interesting character. The Putin is just a middleman by himself.
Okay.
Putin 20 years ago, there's a lot of like powerhouses in Russia 20 years ago. And all of them, it just came to agreement that there were a middleman who could serve to their needs as best as he could, and there was a Putin. It's just a middleman, and they mentioned that they thought that he was a good president.
So you think Putin was a bit of a middleman to all of the crooks that he was helping?
Of course.
And
And now, of course, and now he get his own crew back. He get his own band, who is like neglecting all of the other ones, right? So Prigozhin is just
one of the neglect.
yeah.
See.
So he doesn't have like an actual power
You think
to change
Do you
anything.
think the other crooks might be smelling blood in the water for Putin? They might be seeing him as a bit weakened.
We hope so.
Uh,
All of us Russians, we hope so.
Thank you very much. Sorry, go on.
No worries. We are here in Russia. We are here Russians. Sorry, we're here in England. We Russians, right?
No,
We
definitely
understood,
not
we
in
got it.
Russia. Yeah.
Don't worry.
No worries, go on.
That's
go on.
very true.
That's fine.
We are here in the United Kingdom.
Yes.
Russians, right? We all share the same feeling, and everyone will agree there with me that we all share the same feeling that the regime that suppress us, that suppress the democracy,
Yes.
that suppress the power of our own will fade in time. And every single moment, our hope is like increasing, right? But this day and the death of Alexei Navalny is a very hard blow to our hope.
You think the Russians in Russia are also hoping for something to happen?
Of course they are. My mother, my father, my grandmother,
But is
everyone.
there a way of actually
Of course
getting to
they
that
are.
hope?
Of course they
Is there
are.
a way
Of
to
course.
get there to that hope? What do you think should be the actions to get to that hope?
There is no actions since you are so deprivated, right? So you don't have a rights. You don't have a power to make some changes, right?
What about abroad, like here? People, I mean, look, the KGB is not gonna start chasing random people around
Very
London,
true.
right? They have a bigger fish to fry, right?
Yes.
So, do you think the Russians might start moving abroad? Might start showing opposition to Putin?
Even if they do, it means for them sudden death. They will find themselves in prison, right?
No,
So they can
abroad,
do
here,
that.
here in
Ha,
the UK.
They are abroad. If they want to move to Russia
return to Russia.
like to do some protest movement or something, they will be doomed, right? So for us, it's all about our kids. It's all about our job, right? So we here, all of us here, we all focused into work as hard as we can,
Sure.
get as much money as we can, pay our taxes, right? But at the end of the day, support the opposite movement, right?
The
Opposition,
movement,
right? So we're trying to support the opposition. We're trying to support the movement against the regime, right? And
But
that's
now
what
it
we're
seems
doing.
like there's no opposition left, right? Navalny is dead. Who is the opposition now?
That's the saddest day on earth.
Yeah.
That's the saddest day
Is there any
in a
solution,
century.
any
Man.
kind of- Go on.
In a century, in the last century, this is by far the most saddest day for Europe in a century. It is. We are here
It's a big
just
deal.
to mourn, just
Very
to
big deal,
mourn.
right? Last question. Do you think, look, we know very well, we already discussed that to do something in Russia is very difficult, right? To protest, peaceful
Very
protests
true.
in Russia, impossible. Getting it to politics in Russia, impossible. We're not talking
course.
about that.
Yeah.
But is there any other way, some sort of a uprising, some sort of an international intervention, some sort of a